Are you somebody that wakes up every single day feeling groggy? By midday, you literally need a nap and you have to be fueled full of caffeine to get literally even the simplest of tasks done? That used to be me, okay? I put my hands up, guilty as charged. I used to be so bad with my sleep. Not only did I have poor quality of sleep, but I also wasn't sleeping long enough, and it was detrimental to my overall productivity and just like enjoyment of life. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through the sleep tips and tricks that I've used personally to help me really improve the quality and duration of my sleep, and I know they will help you too because they are all science-based. So let's get into it. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is so nice to see you. It's so nice to have you here. If you're new here, my name is Spencer and I'm here for the fitness, the vlogs, and the vibes. And if you're not new here, then welcome back. Now, let's get into the video. Let's face it, sleep is super important. Everybody knows this. Everyone's talking about it right now, but it really is the truth. It impacts your mood, your productivity, your overall health, and just like generally like how you live your life. Take it from me as somebody who used to have really bad sleeping habits and was disguising it as productivity. I was somebody who chronically, for years, would only get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep every single night, thinking that I was this productive queen waking up at 4 a.m. But what was going on behind the scenes is I was having to take a nap every single day at 12 o'clock. Without fail, I was so exhausted, my mind was scattered constantly, and I just couldn't stay on task. And it led me to these feelings of feeling lazy and that I just wasn't working hard enough. But the thing is, I was just chronically underslept for years. So what really changed for me was when I realized that if I just got a good night's sleep, I could be so much more productive in the hours that I was awake, and I could actually spend a lot more time with my friends and with my families, learning new hobbies, because I actually was productive in my workday, and that left me with more time in the evenings to enjoy my life. So how much sleep do you actually need to feel your best? Most people need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Children obviously need more, and women tend to need more around their periods, but it does differ from person to person. But nobody can function properly on just 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I don't care what anybody tells you. It was like, oh, I don't need that much sleep. Girl, you're lying to yourself. So let's get into my tips. Now, as my cup suggests, I am in fact a coffee lover, and I used to be somebody that would drink coffee all throughout the day being like, caffeine doesn't affect me. That's not true. If you feel like it doesn't affect you, I promise you it's still affecting your sleep. Caffeine can have a half-life of anywhere between 5 to 10 hours. So if you're having coffee at like 3, 4, 5 p.m., it's still in your system at like 10, 11, 12 a.m. So that's hindering your ability to sleep. If you really want to prioritize your sleep, what I suggest doing is implementing a caffeine cutoff window. Definitely not cutting out caffeine completely, because for so many people it's such a big part of our days and our routines. Switch to a decaffeinated option after like 12 p.m. or at least like 10 to 12 hours before your bedtime, because that way you can really make sure that by the time you're crawling into bed, your brain isn't still overactive with caffeine acting in your system. And just a little note on this is where sleep quality comes into play, because you may be able to fall asleep even though you've just had a coffee, but your brain will still be super overactive, your body will be super overactive, and you're not really giving it the rest and like deep sleep that it needs. So yeah, having a caffeine cutoff time has been such a game changer for me. My caffeine cutoff time is about 12 o'clock max. I usually try for about 11 a.m. and it's really helped. And if you don't want to just take my word for it, there's been loads of studies done on this subject, with one of them being done by the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, saying that if you consume caffeine within 6 hours of going to bed, it heavily reduces your sleep quality. So I'll link some down below in case you want to have a look. So another thing that I've recently started doing is taking ashwagandha and magnesium supplements, because these are 2 widely studied supplements that have been seen to have really great effects on your sleep and overall recovery within your body. Now, I'm no scientist, but magnesium helps to regulate the neurotransmitters in your brain, which helps signal that, you know what, it's time to actually kind of calm down, relax, and send you into that sleepy state. Whereas ashwagandha is really important for lowering your cortisol levels, which is helping with de-stressing, especially after a long day. And it's also been really seen to help with sleep quality as well as sleep duration. I take these supplements from ESN. I will link them down below. One of the biggest disruptors for deep sleep is noise in the bedroom, noise outside, noise from a partner potentially snoring. So investing in earplugs has been the biggest game changer for me. It took me a little while to get used to, I'm gonna be completely honest. I kept falling out and I was just using those foam ones. I got like a bunch from Amazon. I really wanted to try and make this work because unfortunately my partner does sleep and we live together, and once we moved in together I was like, I need to figure this out. So I invested in some earplugs. I chose the brand Loop. I heard loads of really good good reviews about this. This is not sponsored, but I will speak about it till the cows come home. Also, just bring them around with me. Like if I'm going to somewhere where there's going to be lots and lots of noise and I don't want to get overstimulated, I'll bring these with me. So yeah, definitely recommend loop. Honestly, any earplugs are better than none. So the next thing is similar to the last in that it kind of blocks one of the senses, and that is eyesight. So using an eye mask is super important. Even if we have the tiniest bit of light exposure in the middle of the night, it can trick our brains into thinking that we're awake and therefore pull us out of those deep and REM sleep stages. And because I do now live with my partner and I tend to fall asleep a little bit before him, so using my eye mask, putting my earplugs in means that he can watch a show while I'm kind of going to bed and we both get the best of both worlds. So yeah, this is a brand from My Halos. I just got it from Amazon. I'll link it down below, but I really like it because it's got almost like cutouts for where your eyes go, so it's super comfortable. It does fall off a little bit in the night, but I kind of like thrash about, so if you just like sleep like a normal person, I'm sure you'll literally be fine. But even still, it only falls off like maybe like once every couple nights, and I'm so like in the routine of having it now that when I wake up and it's not on, I'm like, and then I would just like put it back on without even thinking. So the next thing is something that I'm super passionate about, and that is brain dumping. I think the idea of journaling and just emptying out your brain can be super important if you have an overbusy mind and you struggle to actually fall asleep. One thing I speak to my clients about all the time is they're like, I don't have time to journal, like I hate it, it takes so long. But what I'm trying to say with brain dumping is it isn't like writing out elaborate, long, perfectly correct sentences. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be done in a journal. It doesn't need to be done in a specific way. You could literally just get the notes app on your phone and just write down the random little words that are popping into your head. So these could be these thoughts that are so simple of like, I wonder what lunch I'm gonna have tomorrow. The thing that person said to me was kind of weird. I really liked how my outfit looked today. Like all of these like random thoughts that aren't really like anything of substance, but you just don't need flying around in the back of your head. And I think also what's super important with brain dumping is you can use it as a time to just quickly like jot down any task your brain is trying to tell you not to forget. Because I know for me, my brain will just continually like remind me of something until I've written it down because it doesn't want me to forget about it. Once I've written it down, then it's like, okay, cool. She knows what we need to do tomorrow. I no longer need to like pester her with it and we're all good. So try brain dumping. Honestly, just set like a 2-minute alarm on your phone. Just jot down anything that comes to mind and just do that continuously for a few weeks and see how you feel. None of this is like a magic potion and like be all and end all fixing everything for sleep, but I know that these have really helped me in my personal life and they've helped people around me as well. So I really hope that they can work for you. If you do really struggle with sleep and it's something where you just like cannot sleep, you have really bad insomnia, definitely go speak to a doctor or a sleep specialist. These are just tips that have helped me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I post every single Sunday at 6 p.m. GMT. Happy sleeping, people. I hope you're having the best day ever, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I love you. Goodbye.